up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. It's me, Erica, honey. We are down here. We're gonna see how we're gonna do with these light rings first. All right, what's up? What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, honey, to talk about what's going on the blogs. Let's see. I don't know. I haven't looked at anything. I haven't researched anything. I haven't been online this morning. Nothing. I just watched one video this morning. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know you stopped by, honey. I guess I should have put on some concealer, huh? Oh well, child, y'all gonna get what you gonna get today. Yeah, let's see. Woman wires her mouth shut reportedly to lose weight. Honey, Tammy Roman been there, done that. 1993, where a world, honey. You late. You 40 some years late. How many years ago is 1993, child? Girl, y'all ain't doing nothing new. Y'all ain't doing nothing damn new. 29 years ago, what I say, 40 some years ago? 29 years ago, 1993, real world Los Angeles. Tammy Roman was on the show, and she wired. That was the first time I have ever heard of somebody. Then I started seeing a lot of people doing that. It's really sad because it says that you have no self-control. And so instead of going to find out why you lack self-control, you'd rather wire your mouth shut so you don't eat. I think that's a problem. I do. I do. I've always thought it was weird. I was like, "Ooh, I want to get my teeth." You know, I'm a product of the United States too, a child of the United States. And one of the things that they embed in your mind, I just talked about it yesterday, is how inadequate you are in every aspect, especially if you look at yourself through the eyes of men. You'll really feel real low and real unworthy and inadequate. Um, so one of those things is, I always say white, male, hetero, Christian, but the other part of that is thin, being thin, wanting to be not fat. Okay, not necessarily thin, but I will say not fat. So you have the racism, you have the misogyny, you have the intolerance to other people's religions, you have homophobia, and you have fat phobia, and that's the attack, right? That's the attack. That's the claw, so to speak, that wants to have you trapped in this just space and existence of inadequacy. If you govern yourself by those things, you'll feel really bad about yourself on a daily basis. If you're not white, male, hetero, Christian, and not fat, you will feel like, I don't know what to do. And one of those things is not being fat. And women will do everything, men and women. The society, will lead you to believe that it's only women who are concerned. But, we just had Dr. Miami make a TikTok joke about Drake coming to get his, work done. Men get work done too. Men are getting their hairlines, restored. Bitch. They're getting their hairlines restored. They're doing just everything to maintain beauty. Men are doing it too, because men are seeing that now they can't, like when I go on the sites, when I used to go on the sites back in the day, right, the dating sites, and I'm looking at the pictures of the men, and I'm like, God damn, these men really truly. I need to get back on the sites for some research, because the men really truly put zero effort into their appearance, and I'm like, God damn, these men really believe that they can come out of the house looking like they were supposed to be thrown away yesterday, and believe that they are suitable. Anyways, back to what I was saying. South African TikToker documented weight loss journey by allegedly wiring her mouth shut. I totally forgot my train of thought. I was in the middle of talking and I was interrupted, so I don't remember what I was talking about. So we're just going to go ahead and read the post. Okay, South African TikToker documented her weight loss journey by allegedly wiring her mouth shut to prepare for breast reduction surgery. Um, Aviwi, who spoke with The Sun, said she lost 26 pounds through intermittent fasting, but then made the decision to having slimming wires placed in her teeth. The wires were attached to the teeth to keep the jaw wired shut. She had the operation in June. Her decision was, however, led to a lot of internet discussions regarding various weight loss methods. But it's sad because she's getting the surgery. She's getting her mouth wired so that she can have a breast, it says, a breast reduction. So she's getting some type of surgery, so she has to have her mouth shut. All I'm saying is that we do a lot of things to our bodies for whatever, to enhance and whatever. And the underlying issue is that you're just not satisfied with the way that you look, and there is a lack of consistency and self-control in order to maintain the look that you want. So a lot of people end up having to go back. Their surgery's not working or being successful, are not lasting long because um they don't really have um they don't really have a plan. Another part of that thing is I always think about how people themselves, I used to say, and it's a struggle, it used to be a struggle of mine, especially with always trying to lose weight, always trying to, be on some type of detox or diet or fast or something like that. It's always something. And again, it's just you not be constantly feeling like you're inadequate in some way. Um, but what I was going to say was the fact there was this quote that I saw a long time ago, and I felt it resonated with me, and I felt like it kind of dragged me a little bit because it said, the promises, listen to this, because baby, I said, oh, no, don't drag me now. Okay. The promises that you keep to yourself is in the direct relation of how you feel about yourself. It is a direct reflection of your self-esteem. That's the quote. The promises that you keep to yourself is a direct reflection of your self-esteem. And I used to think that because I used to think, okay, yeah, I'm going to be on this diet for however many days, and I would only last a week or 3 days, right? It's usually the third day that really gets people in a fast, in a diet, in any kind of habit forming or habit changing exercise or routine. The third day really is the key. um but yeah, it's like people are just, I don't know. She lost 31 pounds over the course of 7 weeks. um She ain't the first. I wish I could wire my shit. This is a very old technique I heard of in the 90s. Yeah, I saw Tammy Roman was the first person. Yep. Tammy Roman did it first on The Real World. This isn't news. People get their mouth wired all the time. Delete this. People do everything but exercise and eat healthy. But to that quote, the promises that you keep to yourself. And I always think about people, it's the relationship that we have with ourselves. While we hopping and skipping and diving and falling in love and going from relationship to relationship, we don't even keep the promises. How are you going to keep the promises you're trying to make to someone else that you can't even keep to yourself, and you can't even stay consistent, lose weight or whatever? I'm not talking about the people who have issues and medical issues that keep them, thyroids or whatever, to keep them from losing weight. I'm talking about people who are able and who choose to do whatever it is they want to do to lose weight, whatever. But the truth is, the promises that you keep to yourself is a direct relation to your self-esteem. And it's true. And when you think about that, how many promises you have broke to yourself while you're trying to be in a relationship with somebody, you can't even keep the promises that you make to yourself. That's all I have to say about that. So shout out to that lady. Hopefully her breast reduction goes well. But I'm hearing so many stories, people going to different places, even in the country, out of the country, in the country, and having complications from their surgeries and enhancements. And it's just unfortunate. And it's like you're doing it because there's something about yourself that you are unhappy about. You are not satisfied with the way that you look, and so you go enhance it. And that's, I like I said, it's fine, but at the same time, you got to think about it. Even if you go and get the surgery, are you going to keep the promise to yourself to work out and do everything to maintain that? Or are you just going to keep going and laying on a table? And at what cost? And I'm not trying to shame people and not getting surgery. If I trusted people enough, I probably would do it too. I would always talk about, yeah, I'm going to go to the thing and get my stomach and this and that. And it's always the stomach for me. It's always the stomach, because I grew up being very conscious about, after I had children, being conscious about like my midsection. And people determine, I guess, whether you're fat or skinny based on your stomach. Like the rest of your body can look like it's busting out of a can of biscuits, but if your stomach is flat, you got it. Halfway flat, a little pudgy or whatever, but that's, people always look at the midsection to determine whether you are, in shape or not, or, desirable or whatever. One of those things that I realized when I stopped looking at myself through the eyes of men, I became more satisfied with myself. I became more satisfied with myself when I stopped thinking like, oh, because men are fickle, and they change their mind. They change their mind like in seconds. If it's something that they feel is they're not going to benefit from immediately, they'll change their mind. They're always looking for the next benefit, right? Something that's going to benefit them. And they're very clear when it no longer benefits them, they're out of here. Women, y'all should get more better in navigating that space when realizing that a relationship is no longer beneficial. But men change their minds like that, very fickle, very contradicting. They'll tell you they like you one way and then turn around 5 years later and say that those asses are too big and obnoxious. And that's like, what do you do? What do you do? And it really fucks with everybody. And if you think that it's not fucking with children the way that it's fucking with adults, you got another thing coming. You got another thing coming. When you socialize little girls to vie for the attention of boys, and boys to be in transactional relationships with girls, little girls are going to continue to try to supply what the demand is. And if the demand is a certain aesthetic, the girls have learned to adjust and adapt so that they could attract what they, so they can be desirable to the men that they are attracted to. But in 5 years, those guys they might say, you know what, that's not giving. I like a natural body now. And it's really odd because the need for women to change their bodies to attract men, and then for them to turn around and be like, that type of body is ugly. I can't imagine the mind fuck that women who keep changing their bodies, and they keep saying, oh, it's for me, it's for me, and it's really not. And that's the sad part. Like, you're lying to yourself by saying, I'm doing this for me, and you're really doing it to make yourself more desirable in order to attract. And what a lot of girls are noticing is that when they change their body, the type of attention that they're getting is not the type of attention that they truly desire from men. When you create yourself to be an object for them, when they've already been socialized, they name their cars girl names, their boats girl names, all the objects, their guns girl names. You are a female human, they're going to treat you like an object. And if you start morphing and changing and adjusting and adapting and whittling yourself down so that you can be attractive to a group of men who are historically contradictory, you are going to be an unhappy person on a carousel leading nowhere. And like I said, if you sit on the carousel long enough, they'll spin that motherfucker backwards. Trust and believe. So shout out to that lady. I hope she is happy with her results. Reginae, I don't know where she got this messaging. I don't know how old Reginae Carter is. Hey Siri, how old is Reginae Carter?
Rosalind Carter is 95 years old.
Not Jimmy Carter's wife, Reginae Carter. Rosalind Carter's 95 years old, y'all. Reginae Carter. How old is she?
Here's what I found.
They keep pulling up Rosalind Carter, honey. Reginae is not in the thing. Reginae, call your daddy. Reginae, call your daddy. How do you spell her name? Regina A. Regina. Wait. Regina E. Regina E. Carter age. She's 23 years old. She was born in 1998. And she has a message to the ladies of this generation. Stop depending on men so much. Be your own boss.
It doesn't matter who your father is. It doesn't matter who your husband is going to be. It doesn't matter who your brother is. It doesn't matter who the man in your life is. You need to be responsible for your finances and be financially independent. Women should be financially independent. It doesn't matter who your father is. It doesn't matter who your husband is going to be. It doesn't matter who your brother is. It doesn't matter who the man in your life is. You need to be responsible for your finances and be financially independent. Women should be financially.
Okay, she shared, looks like Jamila on a page called Women Whole Empires is a website, and she shared a video. And it just says women need to be financially independent. She's 23 years old. I'm not sure why she's just getting this messaging. I don't care that Lil Wayne is her father. Her mother should have been teaching her, you don't depend on men for finances. But when you are in community with women who move that way, then that's what you're going to think, that maybe I need to get a man to do this. Maybe can I do this by myself? So at 23, that's the messaging finally. So at least it's better late than never. Some women don't learn until they running down the hill, right? They done got to the top of the hill and now they down the hill and they're barely learning. Here we go again. A pattern of behavior. Empire actor Bryshere Gray arrested again after a woman makes new abuse claims. Empire star Bryshere Gray found himself back behind bars after violating his probation. Arm's length. Long handle spoons. According to the documents obtained by TMZ, last week, cops responded to a call by a woman in Maricopa, Arizona, who claimed she was concerned for her safety as Bryshere's behavior was escalating. The docs further say that the woman claimed Gray threw a box of food at her, pulled her hair, and also reportedly told the cops about other instances where he aggressively yelled at her. As a news site notes, officers said Gray had multiple run-ins with the cops, even last month, with a domestic-related disturbance call. As a result of allegedly failing to inform his probation officer about these incidents, he was hit with a probation violation. The judge signed a warrant, and he was taken into custody, where he needs to be. I'm sorry. You prison abolitionists, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I don't know where Bryshere Gray needs to go, but for right now, he needs to be in a holding cage somewhere because clearly he has an inability to control himself and he acts like a wild animal and terrorizes women in proximity to him. So it sounds like he is where he needs to be, behind a bar in a box, a cement box with bars closing it. I have no sympathy for these niggas. And I think I'm just going to keep preaching, stay away from these dudes. Stay far away from them. I know y'all want to be in relationships. I know that's your life's mission, is to be in a relationship with someone with a penis. I know that you're going to trek the tundra for the rest of your life, going from man to man to man to man. You're going to waste your life trying to find somebody to spend the rest of your life with, okay? You are going to waste your life trying to find somebody to spend the rest of your life with. And you keep coming in contact with these men. And I just said it the other day, and I had to learn long handle spoon, because I always said the men who got close to me, who were close to me, were the ones who hurt me. And a long time ago, I came to that awareness, like, damn, the closer I let these men to me, when I used to keep men at arm's length and kept them at arm's length, I was able to navigate relationships better. When they got closer to me, they harmed me. And I learned that after the last relationship that I was in. They get whatever the harm looks like, financial, spiritual, emotional, psychological, physical, verbal, what it looks like. Well, I realize that the closer they are to me, the more that they are apt to hurt me. And that's where I got, my grandmother used to say, treat people with a long handled spoon, keep people at arm's length, keep them away from you that they can't get close enough to hurt you. And like I said, I know a lot of y'all have been socialized to believe that you have to pick one person out of 8 billion people to spend the rest of your life with. And when it doesn't work with that person, you don't do anything to work on yourself. You jump to the next person. So I know that some of you desire to be in relationships and need to be in relationships. But I don't know if you've noticed how when people get close to a particular group of men, what happens to them. I don't know if you've seen it over generations, I don't know if you've seen it or not, if you bear witness to it. But if you want to take your chance and do that, to me, I feel like, when what's his name says they're leftovers, I really truly believe, yes, good. Leave me over. I can live. I can be alive. I can live the rest of my life. I feel so good that I'm at an age where I came into the awareness, not only that one, these people are dangerous close to you. Two, what is the purpose? What do they bring? Like literally, what do they bring to the table? Um, and three, it's okay to feel like, oh, okay, don't let these people try to say, oh, you need to be married. No, it's because they need maids. They need maids. They need somebody to do for them. Um, I'm not operating like that. And that's why I always say arm's length. These men are dangerous. And I'm not sure, what's really sad is because there's hordes of women trekking the tundra with their staffs in hand, going through thirsty looking for a fucking man. And they know it. They know it. They know they don't have to do much. They know that you believe that their existence in your proximity brings you value. And if this woman leaves Bryshere Gray, there will be another woman right after her, waiting, not believing. I saw a story the other day about Stormy Wellington and this guy that she's dating, and I don't know this guy, but turns out this guy is a scammer. And there's a whole story. Like, his Yelp review is out there. It's court documents. He scammed his wife, sold her business, sold her business to someone, sold all her IP, just sold everything. He was actually married to this woman, has children with this woman, and now he's running over there with Stormy Wellington. And Stormy Wellington, literally, this woman who calls herself a boss, who calls herself empowering women, she sat on her platform in the back of some kind of luxury car with her glasses on and everything, her shades and on. She's fly. She literally said out her mouth, the way that he treated you will not be the way you might have another treatment. I might not get treated the same way. It's a different experience. She literally said that. And I said, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all really think that after you go into a restaurant that literally has bad reviews after bad reviews, and you truly think that you're going to walk into a restaurant with all of this documented evidence of poor behavior and poor misuse of people, and walk in there and literally say out of your mouth, I'm going to have a different dining experience. You're just a hater because your shit didn't work out with you. And literally ignore the proof. Like, I don't understand. Like, I literally do not understand how women get with men who have abused the woman before them. I do not understand it for the life of me. If in my mind I knew that the man that I was with abused the woman that he was with prior to me, he would not have access to me. And for real, I don't know where you guys think that something about you is going to change this man. You have some kind of superpowers or something. I'm not sure. But the truth is, the management has not changed. The patrons change. The patron sits down and realizes, Oh my God, there's a layer of dust over my beverage. Oh my God, the cheese is molded. Oh my God, the food is cold. Oh my God, I see rats crawling across the floor. And for some odd reason, you believe your presence inside of that restaurant is going to change. The management hasn't changed. You just come to sweep some shit up from the last person. And now, once you sit down, you're going to have the same dining experience. How long you sit might be shorter than the one before. And another thing, what you hoes need to do, and what I really, really, really want y'all to do, if y'all get with the man after you seen that he abused somebody and y'all get with him, and y'all don't listen to the Yelp reviews or the woman before, and y'all call her a hater, and y'all tell her, I have an experience. I'm speaking from personal experience, okay? When you say to a woman who's been abused, you just want my life, and then when you turn around years later and you're having the same experience with the motherfucker that you threw in a bitch's face, you better call that girl and apologize. Call her and apologize. Because while you was throwing a dick in her face, that dick turned around and slapped you in yours, didn't it? Didn't it? Didn't it? And then this is where the reason why y'all get into this trouble, and then you turn around looking stupid and you have to take your L's in silence because you threw a motherfucker in somebody's face and the boomerang came back and hit you in the back of the head. Mm-hmm. Send them to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. Another one, send to jail. Chrisean Rock's boyfriend, BlueFace. He has a mug shot. He has been arrested on attempted red rum charges. I'll go ahead and shout out The Shining. Red rum. If anybody knows red rum, spell it the other way. Spell it backwards. Red rum. Y'all know what it is. Chrisean Rock shares another message after BlueFace arrest. You coming home, daddy. Your rock gonna hold you down. This, I'm gonna read it exactly the way the way that she wrote it. This was 3 hours before they took you, the letter U, from me. Sad face emoji. We had a great drunk night. You coming home, daddy. Yo, rock gon' hold you down. You coming home, daddy. I gotcha. That's on my soul. Jesus got us. On my mama, you gon' beat whatever. No weapon formed against us shall prosper in Jesus' name. Prosper in Jesus' name, amen. That's ironic because he's in and was arrested on attempted murder. So did that weapon that he brandished it, did it form against the other person? Y'all make me sick with that shit. As soon as y'all in some fucking trouble, y'all do the devil's work all the fucking time. And as soon as y'all in some fucking trouble, y'all want to call Jesus. No, call the motherfucker you've been serving the drunk nights when you was on the fuck online showing everybody the back of your ad, your time. Remember that? Remember demon time? You motherfuckers always want to call Jesus. And you've been out here terrorizing people with your demonic ways and your demonic behavior. And as soon the fuck as the devil's like, okay, great. You've done what I needed you to do. Go to jail. Because that's how it all ends. That's how it all ends. So now you in jail. Now you want to call Jesus. Girl, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. BlueFace arrested in Vegas for attempted murder. I need to cut all that out. That was very graphic the way I described Chrisean Rock on the internet with her entire ass for everybody to see in Jesus' name. Now you want to call on Jesus and say, no weapon formed you shall prosper. How about the motherfucker he's been arrested for attempted murder? Bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you motherfuckers? I swear to God, that nigga hip hop shit, I swear to God I was raised on that shit, but y'all taking it to a fucking another level. Another level. BlueFace needs to be in jail for the rest of his life. He really does. He's a menace to society. And whack 100, his face looking like it caught on fire and somebody put it out with a fucking ice pick. He on the fucking internet talking about Chrisean Rock's bad behavior is bringing BlueFace down. And a week later, this motherfucker gets arrested for attempted murder. What is she doing to bring him down again? Girl, get the fuck out of here. Let's see what else. This is on Hollywood Unlocked. Let's go to Jasmine brand. What time is it? Okay, let's go to the Jasmine brand. Oh, no Grammy for Granny trends on Twitter after Nicki Minaj's misses out on a single nomination. Bitch. I hate y'all so much. No Grammy for Granny. They really messed with Nicki Minaj. But Nicki Minaj was doing that shit about 12 years ago. When she was telling Little Kim, sit down, you old, and all this other stuff. Let the new girls come through. That was about 10 or 12 years ago. I ain't forgot. I ain't forgot. And I said it. If I could find the tweet, I said it. I said in 10 years, she's going to be singing the same tune. Because, girl, I mean, unfortunately, you participate in a culture where you age out. You don't hear nothing from none of the female rappers. Nobody that is over 45. Do you hear them? Do you hear anything from them? And your aesthetic is very kitsy, very campy, very, and so I don't know how long you can pull that off at your age. Like, it doesn't match. So I don't know if you can call for Nicki Minaj to kind of like mature and even her aesthetic, but the pink lollipop Barbie shit, and you're like 45 years old, that's like something, I don't know, sweetie. I don't know. You could be a Barbie for how long you want, but she didn't get nominated for her Grammy. Big Lotto got nominated. Glorilla got nominated. So I don't know if that's like kind of a message to say, sweetie. And she was upset that she didn't get nominated in the pop category. So I said she didn't even get the pop category. The people said no, she didn't get the pop category. It says no Grammy for Granny. Super freaky grandma is kind of funny, but Nicki's age isn't the problem. The behavior at her age. It's the behavior at her age. It's very immature, right? Also, the Grammys know her little cult artificially pumped the numbers for that trash ass song. Literally, nobody likes that song. And the hashtag no Grammy for Granny was trending. Grammy don't like snitches, tried to throw Lotto and her song under the bus to prove a point, and not even a factor at all. Imagine throwing a tantrum over submissions and end up not being nominated. Dumbest families, y'all dumb just like y'all fucking babe. The bars are stupid. Y'all are really dumb. Y'all are like the dumbest families. Y'all dumb just like y'all fucking babe. You know that was AB. Shout out to AB. Shout out to Azalea Banks. Shout out to Azalea Banks. Ciara says her split from Future made her realize she needed to start loving on myself before she could love someone else. Didn't I just tell y'all that? I mean, that is it. And I think if you have little girls around you and little boys around you in your proximity, in your community, you need to be mindful. You need to not mind your business when you see the little girls changing themselves to be, and when I say changing themselves, I mean, and you could tell me if you've done this before and you've seen it done. That's why I know it's a socialization. The little girl takes on the identity of the boy. Anything he likes, she starts liking. How many of y'all fake like you like a sport because a nigga liked a sport? How many of y'all took on the man's interest and he didn't know shit about you? He didn't know shit that you like. Ask your nigga right now, what's your favorite color? Ask him what are the things that makes you feel relaxed. Ask him about you. See how much you know about him versus how much he knows about you. And that is something that we are conditioned and we are socialized to do from the very beginning, is to morph and do whatever you need to do so that that little boy can look at you and pick you. And if you don't love yourself, any boy's gonna pick you. The ones, I always said it, a weak man can spot a weak woman, one that's vulnerable, one that's willing to do all these things for the man. They know how you've been socialized. They're not dumb. They know that. They know how you've been socialized. And if you don't practice self-love, you are going to find yourself in a lot of relationships suffering. No boundaries, people doing whatever, people crossing boundaries that you haven't really maintained. You don't I've had that happen to me, not maintaining boundaries, and it's something very simple, like don't wear shoes. Like, I don't wear shoes in my house. Okay, great. First couple times he don't wear shoes. First couple times he don't wear shoes. About the seventh or eighth time he walks in, doesn't even attempt to take the shoes off to see if I will say anything. Right? That's a crossed boundary, something as simple as that. And when a person knows that I can cross a small boundary, I'm going to keep crossing the boundaries and see how long. And if you've been socialized to put up with, to work for and fight for and do all this shit for and to morph yourself into for a man, you are going to find yourself in a pretzel. Look at Shawnee O'Neal. She's a pretzel. I'm calling y'all pretzels now. When y'all morph and move all around and find yourself in on Simone Biles' team for a man, y'all pretzels moving forward. Y'all, I'm not calling y'all pick me's anymore. I'm calling y'all pretzels. And that's what it is. Love yourself first. Ciara is usually private about her tumultuous relationship with her ex-fiance and baby's father, Future. The singer certainly didn't hold back in her women's health interview, revealing how coping mechanisms help her carry through the split. Ciara and Future called it quits back in 2014, and the niggas are still upset, right? Because she's supposed to be online crying over a nigga, trying to get the nigga to beg. She's supposed to be online fighting for the nigga so they could place her in the bitter baby mama category. But she didn't do that, and so now the man that she picked to move forward with, he is now some kind of simp. Because in the black community, the women with the children, even though the children are the future, the women with the children are less valuable, especially if there's not a penis in proximity. So we know the drill. So that's the problem that they have with Ciara. How many years has it been? Almost 10. Right, 2014. It's 2022, about to be 2023. Y'all need to let it go, okay, Elsa? It said leaving CC. It says Ciara and Future called it quits back in 2014 following claims of infidelity, leaving CC to raise her son Future Jr. I bet she's pissed that she named that baby Future Jr. That's another indication that she didn't love herself, because she knew that this person, well, I don't think that she knew that this person was going to change. Or maybe she did. Maybe she had that ideology that my presence is going to change this man, even though I'm the fifth baby mom or whatever. She raised her son as a single mother just 3 months after giving birth. The 37-year-old told the magazine when she called it quits, she needed to learn how to love herself again, not just for herself, but also for the sake of her newborn baby. I can't be the best mom if I'm not loving myself, she said, so I put more focus on me, taking care of me. It was the best thing I could have done. While the split could have undoubtedly been hard on Ciara, who had just given birth to Future Jr. at the time, she says she tried to focus on things that continue to bring her joy in her life. The joy would have been presumably including her now husband, Russell Wilson, whom she began dating in 2015. When I put more focus on me, I felt like I grew into another level of womanhood. Now it's a part of my armor in life. I will always go back to it. Shout out to Ciara. And it's true, and I think her the rep that's the reason why so many people like, oh, what's Ciara's prayer, what's this and that, because the truth is the women who trek the tundra looking for love for the rest of their life, okay, looking for love for the rest of their life, they want a man. They want a man, and so they know how the culture that they belong to treat women, especially women with children, and they're looking for some man who, like my grandfather, married a woman with 2 children. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to stepdads. Shout out to healthy stepdads, because I do know a kid who has a stepfather in his house and he's not being treated well by his stepfather. So, shout out to Russell Wilson. Shout out to Ciara. Shout out to everybody. All right, y'all take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.